Yeah.
But my most important thing is at least let a conversation begin. Let a conversation begin on true lines, on lines of something that is documented. I, in fact, am welcoming conversation as long as it doesn't go into spaces of negativity.
Money.
Yes!
Yes, that's the
Truest.
answer. Truth. The truth comes
The
out.
truth comes out, Jinnah. So truthful.
What do you choose a woman? Like you ask, what to say a woman character?
Why would you think that I'd choose a woman, you sexist person?
Why? Look at you. Which
I
woman?
love
I
men.
love this.
There's some great women I would love to trade places with, but the first thing that came to my mind was...
I start? Yeah. My name is A, so I have alphabetical priority. It is based on real life character, but there's a lot of information about my character specifically if I have to address the question, Mohammed Ali Jinnah. There's a lot of information on Google and various books and other sources. And I had read the book Freedom at Midnight many years ago. I still have a copy of it. So I remember vaguely the character of Mohammed Ali Jinnah as it was shown there. I remember pictures, black and white pictures in that book. It was very fascinating as a child or as a young person when you see the book. What research did I do? I assimilated all that facts, and the good thing, as we've said earlier, and as the show also explains or depicts, the script was very well etched out. So a lot of nuances, Mohammed Ali Jinnah were written there. So I kind of reread it, made my notes, and then discussed it with Nikhil and his direction team several times, and formed loosely a character what I thought could be Mohammed Ali Jinnah. And it's an experiment. I could be wrong. People could not like it or dislike it or like it. That's out in the open domain now once the show releases. And then I gave him a certain small physicality. And then I tried to give him a projected voice. I thought he won't be subtle when he speaks. Everything is out there with his voice. That's the commanding personality he had, slightly domineering. He gave barked orders as opposed to speaking normally. So I worked out these little subtle things without making it very romantic, my whole exercise. Actors love doing that. And then I just went on set and I surrendered to the moment, used the elements which were there, the property, whatever I could, and left it to the gumption of the director. You know, his
and your terrific co-actors.
His point of view or his the final yes and no was with him. And then I just trusted my instinct and expected him to correct me, tell me what is right or wrong, what extra to do, or reduce this, etc. So we went through that in every scene, in the rehearsal and in the final takes. And that's how it is really. Nothing beyond this, which I think actors normally do.
I think a lot of what Arif said is all true of all of us because we're playing these historical figures who are well known. So some of us, there's more literature out there, there's more information out there, there's more preconceived notions about. Some of them, there's less about. I think Fatima is one in which there's less known about her. What is written about her is through, again, books. I happen to have chanced upon a book long ago, Mr. and Mrs. Jinnah, where she featured in that book. And I was very intrigued by her even then. And even as I was asked to do the part, I was equally intrigued and excited and nervous. I think preparation for every actor is so individual. It depends entirely on you and your process and your method and what works for you as an actor. And there is no method as such. Really, I genuinely believe that as a performer, as an artist, you've got to you take from wherever you can and you find your own way. You find your own way of portraying something and playing a character. So I think for Fatima, with me, because I already was very intrigued and connected to Jinnah because of the other project that was right from 2017. I had done quite a bit of reading around Jinnah, around his journey, around even her and the wife and things like that. So I picked up a few more books, whatever I could get my hands on. I'm quite a nerd, so I like to read, I like to research. I went down that rabbit hole for a while and then I left it there. Once you read and absorb, you're filling yourself with as much information as you can. So information is one aspect of the preparation. Then I did work with a French acting coach who I work with very regularly on Fatima specifically. That was a very invigorating process, very fun process. And of course, finally, it was working with what you have in the script, where you read and read and read and read and read, and you find, things in the script, and then you surrender ultimately to the director's vision. I believe that when you're playing a character, whether it's a historical character or any character, you do the preparation, you're full of it, you feed yourself, but when you arrive on set, you are just reacting. You are just reacting and listening. That's really what acting is. So your character is already in you, and you are playing off your co-actors, and you are letting the scene and letting the thing go where it wants to go. And that's really the beauty and the artistry of acting, when you can allow yourself to be free on set. All the homework, all the preparation is done before. So I think that's what's, and with Fatima, it was lovely because it took you down a historical research rabbit hole. I'm a complete nerd. Like Nikhil, I'm a history buff at many levels. And physically, she is much older. I don't think I've talked about this at all, in fact, in the last 2 days. She's much older than I am. It was to me, it was a no-brainer. I mean, to me, I didn't even think about it. A lot of other actors may have been like, oh no, I have to wear a wig, I have to, be aged, I have to do aging sort of on my face. I don't wear any makeup. My skin is totally aged. I wear a white wig, But these are irrelevant things for me, absolutely. If I have managed at any level to capture the essence of this woman we know very little about, who is such a fundamental part of Pakistan's history, who is an integral part of her brother's life, then I'll be happy.
No, I don't really matter. I mean, I don't really care what people comment. They're supposed to. People will comment good and bad things, positive, negative comments. Saath mein aayenge. Not only on a historical show, any show you do, any piece of work you put on,
True.
people have their comments, and they are entitled to. So let them comment.
Yeah, I think I agree with Arif. You can't control what people in this day and age, in the digital age, with social media, with Twitter, with Instagram, you cannot control it. And I think everybody knew going in that yes, there will be sensitivity, there will be a lot of discussion, it will spark conversation. So that's an inevitable, repercussion of making a show like this. In fact, on a funnier, lighter note, Arif was showing me some hilarious comments on the trailer teaser yesterday on YouTube, and it's already started. So, we can't control that. We can only be true to what we are trying to say and make.
I remember asking Nikhil this question actually when I met him in the beginning, and I was reading it and I was like, oh, explosive. Are we okay with this? What's going to happen? And I think I'm going to just give you a version of that answer, and what they said, it's true.
Yeah.
But my most important thing is at least let a conversation begin. Let a conversation begin on true lines, on lines or something that is documented. I, in fact, am welcoming conversation. As long as it doesn't go into spaces of negativity, I think conversation is the most welcome thing. I'm hoping that's what Freedom at Midnight does, because I want people to debate what our leaders were actually like, or what, a documented version of them is versus what I see on social media today.
और बस ढंग का हो. There's so much rubbish that people keep talking also. I mean, ढंग की
That is
conversations हो, यही उम्मीद है.
आप बातें करो, ढंग की करो.
हाँ.
Money.
Yes!
Yes, that's the
Truest.
answer. Truth. The truth comes
The
out.
truth comes out, Jinnah. So truthful.
Of course.
Yeah, they don't see these actors. They don't admit it. I just said no. On a serious
Who
note,
said?
1 minute, did you make a lot of money on
You
this?
never asked.
Jinnah, you made money?
On a serious note, what is the criteria for choosing roles? You said I don't know. It could be anything really. So there is no set parameter for me to choose a role. It could even be a one-scene role if I like the director. Some friends make movies. Sometimes the financial implication is relatively good. Sometimes the reputation of the director is good. Sometimes, I don't know, it's just very complicated. The answer to a simple question, which seemingly simple question, that how do I choose roles? I have no idea. There are a lot of factors go into play in my choices, really.
So the definition of me is equals to don't put me in a box. The meaning of my name is don't put me in a box. And I've always, actually over the years that I've been on the radio, I have actually very deeply and purposefully propagated this to whoever's been listening. Okay? Don't let people put you in a box. If you're a doctor and you think you're a stand-up comedian, go ahead. If you're a singer and you think you are Arif Zakaria, you go ahead. If you're a dancer and you're Ira, you go ahead and you explore those things. So as an artist, and I've always considered myself to be an artist, you have different skill sets. You explore all of them. I'm glad that you think I have great comic timing. You're right. I enjoyed laughter. I enjoy joyous things. I don't think everything needs to be boxed into serious stuff. And similarly, these are the words of our director. Freedom at Midnight is a chapter of our history. It actually happened. There is no way that something that happens is so linear and so कि ये सारे ही serious है. मेरा सबसे बड़ा takeaway ना इस show से ये है कि आप हमारे freedom fighters को humanized देखोगे. This is my biggest and most, because even for me or any of us here, when you imagine Arif Zakaria just sitting here and you think, what a serious man. He is not. He has a great time. He has a great time off scene when we are chilling together. Right now, he's giving you a serious answer. It is the same for any of our freedom fighters. And what you will see through this show is exactly that. The human sides of all of them. Interestingly, the first thing I found out about Sarojini Naidu was that she had a fabulous laughter. She laughed ji bhar ke, and she was a smart woman, as smart as a whip. She sparkled. She was, in fact, in a room of boring old men who were discussing politics. She was the joy and the laughter. And she was not a ditzy person. So you can be, I just want to say, you can be all of those amazing things and you don't have to be deadly serious. And I think that's what you will see through Freedom at Midnight. The human side, the fun side. There are some really sparkling dialogues between a lot of the characters that you will see and you'll be like, oh, teri, almost, you know. You'll be like, they spoke like this because yes, they were human. Apart from the politicians, they were human.
I would like to be Alexander the Great because I'm very enthused to understand how he set out from his house to conquer the world with nothing but just a guiding star. So I'm a big fan of Alexander the Great. So perhaps I would be Alexander the Great.
Wow, these questions that we throw at people.
I think maybe Leonardo da Vinci, because he had an interest in so many different facets of life. He was a scientist, he was a mathematician, he was an artist, he was a thinker.
Won't you choose a woman? Well, like you ask, want to say a woman character?
Why would you think that I'd choose a woman, you sexist person?
Why? I don't know which woman.
I love this.
No,
there's some great women I would love to trade places with, but the first thing that came to my mind was Leonardo da Vinci.
Achha.
Why
I literally thought she was saying Leonardo DiCaprio and I was like, wait a minute, he's alive.
In history.
Michelangelo would be another one.
I'd like to be one of his models.
What kind of talent?
Malishka.
I don't want to be anyone else. But okay. Wait, I had this. This is so... I'm going to give a very boring answer. It's impossible for me, but I'm going to. I would really like to have been Sarojini Naidu. It would have been, fabulous to know. And I'd like to be reborn again today as a result, to be able to play that. It was fabulous to know that a woman back then who wore a sari and a bindi that we typically consider traditional was so fabulous. And she was so outgoing, almost bindas in today's language. I would love to know what it felt like to embody her.